Pardon me, Morty Vicar. Hey YouTube, Xfile2708 here, and welcome back to part 7 of my 500 subs Q&A videos. So I think yesterday I managed to do 6 parts, which covered I think about 2.5 pages worth of questions. So let's crack on through the list, guys, and see if we can do a few more pages today. So next set of questions are from my good friend Joe Beeb. So thanks very much for submitting those, matey, much appreciated. First question from Joe Beeb. Which Sonic game do you like the most on the Mega Drive? Probably for me, Sonic 2. I think Sonic 2's probably a lot of people's favourite of the Sonic series. Sonic 1, you know, I probably played Sonic 1 the most out of all of them, but for fun and you know, cleverness with level design and things like that, Sonic 2 really does hold it for me as you know, the most impressive of the Sonic games that I've played so far. I don't think I've played, was it Sonic 3D? I think they did on the Mega Drive. Not got that one in my collection yet, but looking forward to seeing what they did with that. But certainly, you know, the ones that I've played so far, Sonic 2. Next question from Joe B. Are you a fan of F-Zero? Yep, big fan of the series. Not got many of them. I think I've only got F-Zero on the Nintendo 64 just as a loose card. But I love that style of game. I've got quite a few of the Wipeout series on PlayStation 1 and on the PSP. And also when I get my Sony PlayStation 2, which you know, I'm looking around to get now, then you know, I'll look to get them on PS2 as well. But yeah, as far as F-Zero goes, yep, massive fan of that style of game, and you know, I will be looking to pick different versions of it up on the various consoles that I've got. So there we go. Thanks very much for your questions, matey. Next set of questions, guys, is from Brain Eater Nooks. I think that's how you pronounce your name. First of all, are there any games that you would love to play but won't have the opportunity? Hopefully not. I'm the sort of person that, you know, I'm very much an impulse buyer. You know, I've been talking recently about the Neo Geo AES console. Had a couple of conversations with Lefarius about it. You know, and my gut feeling is I'd really like one of those in my collection. And generally, when I'm in that frame of mind, I'll just, you know, sell something, you know, because I'm not working because of my disability. Normally, I'll sell, you know, whatever, you know, like a big bundle of DVDs or a couple of Blu-ray titles, or you know, so I've even considered, you know, flogging off, you know, maybe a couple of my lesser played systems to fund a new system, things like that. So, you know, once I've got something in my mind, I really want it, then, you know, generally I have to pick it up as quickly as possible. So in answer to your question, if there was such a game that I wanted that badly, then, you know, I'd find the money from somewhere to go and get hold of it. So thankfully, touch wood, there's you know, no games that have been out of my reach so far. Although obviously, if I do, excuse me, if I do end up getting the Neo Geo AES, then games for that are pretty expensive. So, you know, they're going to be few and far between that I can afford to buy games for that. But, you know, I'll scrimp and save as much as I can to get, you know, whatever I decide I want at the time. So there we go. And the final question from Brain Eater Nooks was, who was it at the door when you cut the video? Basically, it was me. So I had a few comments at the time saying, oh, yeah, you know, your language was a bit strong on that video, and, you know, who were you talking to? I feel sorry for them, and things like that. It was purely an act, and I think I explained that afterwards in a follow-up video. There was nobody else there, just me doing a bit of Hollywood blockbuster acting. So there we go. Next question, guys, is from a guy called UberPorner93. How long do you think it will take from here till you get a full Mega Drive collection? There's 524 to get. I think if I add the Australian, European PAL releases onto the list as well, that takes it over 540. So I'm at 198 now. That's taken me since April this year to collect. Although, you know, as I've mentioned before, you know, I have picked up a lot of the cheaper titles, and you know, I've still got a lot of the very expensive titles to buy. But my personal aim at the moment is another 18 months to 2 years to have the full collection. So, you know, if I can carry on focusing my mindset on mainly buying for the Mega Drive and slowing down on all the other systems, then, you know, hopefully that goal will be achievable. So there we go. Next question, guys, is from a good friend of mine, Rob1969IN. So thanks for your question, matey. He basically says, I notice you have a Spectrum but you are selling it, but did you have one when they were at the peak, and if so, what was your favourite game? Basically, no, I didn't have a Spectrum when I was younger. Most of my friends had the Spectrum 128 or the Commodore 64. But for me, I was an Amstrad 464 kid. Absolutely loved the system. You know, managed to track one down a few months ago on eBay. You know, in minty mint condition, boxed. Was really pleased to get hold of it. Very rarely played on a Spectrum. Quite a few of my mates had Commodore 64s. But I think the only game back in the day that I played on the Spectrum was probably on the Spectrum 48K. When I went round my friend's house, he'd got the little Spectrum with the rubber keys, and he was playing a game called Bruce Lee. So I think my good friend Yethboth did a gameplay of it recently, and it brought back some quite good memories. So, you know, that's probably the main game that I do remember on the Spectrum. As I say, you know, the rest of my childhood gaming of that era was on the Amstrad 464. So there we go. Let me just check on time, guys. 1 second. Right. Another couple of minutes left, guys, so probably just time for another couple of questions. So first of all, Cyanide Breath Mints. Are you prepared to sell some of your system stroke games in order to be able to complete your PAL Mega Drive collection? I've had this argument in my head for a long time since I've been retro collecting. I've thought, you know, of selling off my Sega Saturn and my games, my Commodore 64, my boxed Spectrum 128 James Bond pack. But you know, I always come back to the thinking that later on down the line I'm really going to regret selling it, or selling, you know, whatever the items are. So for now, my mind is focused on collecting for the Mega Drive, and at the moment I'm just buying as and when I can afford to, and I'm determined to hang on to all the systems that I've got. So fingers crossed I can carry on that way, because like I say, I know later on down the line, you know, I'll look back and think, oh, I really wish I hadn't got rid of the Saturn, because I used to love playing, you know, game XYZ, whatever. So at the moment, yes, I've thought about it a lot, but no, I'm not prepared to do it. So couple of very, in fact, I think we'll leave it there, guys. So next questions up are from Drex Society. So there's a couple of questions from him. So we'll pause the video, and I'll be back with you in part 8 in a few minutes. So thanks for watching, guys, and bye for now.